Okay.
So in our last episode, which was a couple of weeks ago due to various scheduling, in our last episode, you guys managed to, while investigating the home of Professor Dimitrov, you acquired the Britell device. And as you were looking at it, it appears very much to be a clock. A very nice clock. It's painted night blue. It's got this beautiful image of the night sky on the front of it, but it's still a clock. Tiffany very much wants to examine it to find out what,
tick.
if there's something more to it.
Art.
You strongly suspect there might be.
We have ways of making it talk.
You have, you took prisoner one of the enemy agents that came to the house and tried to interrogate her, but she started screaming and was going to draw attention, so you left her tied up in an alleyway. I mean, she was tied up when you took her prisoner. You just didn't bother untying her before you abandoned her.
Yeah, I mean...
you made your way back to Dick Whitehouse, who is your kind of part-time...
Sort of our contact.
Yeah, part-time contact. He works with Aegis, but he's not 100% a company man. And he has arranged to get you guys out of Russia. He says there's a pilot Aegis sometimes works with, a plane. They think they can get you out, but you have to lay low until that happens. So you guys are currently in this hole-in-the-wall bar owned by Whitehouse. It doesn't even have a name. It just has a sign in the window saying vodka in Russian Cyrillic. There's the drunk at the bar who you're pretty sure is like an undercover security guy. Because every time he gets up, he seems perfectly sober and well-armed. But you guys have a little time. You're kind of stuck lying low until arrangements can be made to get you to the airfield. So you're able to interact now.
Okay.
I think I might need to go to the bathroom again.
Pleased to be leaving the device here.
I've got the device, I assure you. And Dimitrov pats his case containing...
Would you like some tea?
No, I very much wanting not to be here.
What time of day is it again? Is it still like 2 in the morning or something like that? Or
oh no!
Is it
Remember that night ended. You guys went and checked in with Gerald Fitz to try to see if he could help, and he was just little too neurotic.
Yeah.
So you kind of burned most of that day. It's probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon now.
Oh, gotcha. Definitely time for tea.
Yeah. It's always time for tea.
Mm-hmm. Are we laying low in? Where are we located right now? I'm trying to remember.
You guys are at not the nicer club run by Mr. Whitehouse, but the little hole in the wall bar.
Yeah, the vodka place. Okay, I'm sure they have. I will ask for some hot water.
He provides you with hot water.
So you'll see Uncle Zheng is taking out, has a little the little infuser and makes his little tea. You sure you do not want some tea? It's very good. It helps calm the...
Sounds good to me.
Dimitrov is kind of just clutching his case with the device in it. He is not... or that he thinks has the device. It's actually the clock that you took off the wall of this bar to make a dummy device.
Where is the actual...
The real device is in Tiffany's backpack.
You don't know where the real device is, actually.
Yeah, you know Tiffany made the switch. You can presume it's on her, but...
Yeah, somewhere on her person.
Don just kind of slinks down into one of the chairs or maybe the stool and just kind of runs a hand through his hair and is like, "Oh, I cannot wait till we get out of Russia. Every time I hear someone walk around, I feel like we're getting snuck up on by unpleasant people. And you'll order a coffee.
I'll have a coffee too, please.
They bring you some of the black sludge that counts as coffee here.
I will still drink it.
Yeah.
Coffee is
I mean,
coffee.
at the very least, it's going to keep you awake. It's really strong.
Yeah, and that's definitely what he's going for. Don does not feel comfortable even going to sleep at this moment.
I like this stuff. This is great. This reminds me of college. As I drink the coffee.
And again, Dimitrov is just kind of hugging the fake device.
Right. Well, I highly recommend. It's very good for calming nerves.
Yeah, he's jittery enough that you probably shouldn't give him coffee.
Yeah, I was gonna say coffee would not be good.
No. Also, I feel at this point that if I were to calm my nerves, not that I'm not calm right now, but if I were, I would probably fall asleep on the bar.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don will get out his journal and start to kind of jot some notes down in it, and I will update his journal later after this game, probably to reflect today's and yesterday's sessions. But he does that, and I think we're just kind of waiting for the next morning for us to be able to get to the airfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if there's anything you guys want to do in the meantime, fine. Otherwise, we'll advance to when they're ready to bring you to the airfield.
No, I can't think of anything. I'm sure a certain young lady has plans, but
Yes, I do.
excuse me.
I do, but it's not reasonable for me to go to the bathroom right after I got out. So I'm going to go to the bathroom before we leave, though, because it's always important to do that before you leave.
Sure.
Ah,
And so when Dick
it
Whitehouse comes and says he has a car waiting to take you to the airport, everyone goes out to the car. Tiffany says she has to run to the restroom.
Uncle
Yeah,
mentions that is an unfortunate result of too much coffee.
It probably is, actually. You're probably right. Can I also, while I'm going to the bathroom, just like do another check on the Brutel device to just kind of
You may.
examine it further? Do I need a
Sure.
roll for this? Hold on. Let me go to my character sheet. Engineer? Science
Yes.
engineering?
Yes.
Submit.
You carefully open up like the back panel and look, and it's pretty clear that there is all the standard mechanisms for a clock, but there's something else. And something that really is very noticeable. There is what appears to be a small lever or switch that seems to be connected to some of these mechanisms that don't have anything to do with the actual functioning of the clock.
Interesting. Very interesting. I would probably have to flip the switch to be able to tell what it does. Let's save that for the next time I go to the bathroom.
Okay.
But I'm not in Russia.
See that glow on the horizon?
So, are you coming back out then?
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you come out, Don's be like, "Oh shoot, I should probably go too." And he's gonna run back in. I'll see you after.
All right.
Yeah, it's probably the coffee.
Yeah, he returns a couple moments later, or minutes later.
Okay. So as everyone finally loaded into the car, Whitehouse tells you, when you get to the airfield, you want to look for a guy named McCoy. He'll be expecting you.
What does he look like?
Whitehouse
Gives an apt description, I assume.
At least some way of identifying him.
Unless they have name tags.
I don't know.
Yeah, they have team T-shirts.
He's just under 6 feet. Seems I don't know, what age is he? He's just under 6 feet. in his 30s. Nickname Slim, so probably a little guy.
And what is he going to be doing for us?
Well, he's in my line of work. Sometimes I need things that are not quite legal brought in, or not quite legal under Stalin to be brought in. He's the guy I trust to fly those things in and to fly things out when need be.
Okay, so he's a pilot.
Does he
Sure,
speak
we'll go with
Russian?
pilot.
I hope.
Name like McCoy, I would say probably not.
You never know.
Yeah, he's American. I don't know what languages he's picked up, but he's been all over.
The last time when we were coming in, we had an issue with getting flagged on the radio, and my Russian's gotten a little better, but it's still I don't know if I can pull some sort of
You shouldn't need to lie your way out. He's the guy I trust to fly things.
Gotcha.
In night. I'm sure he's made all the necessary oh hell, he's paid the bribes. No sense sugarcoating that.
Well, wow, how soon can we leave? Is he going to be there when we arrive?
Should be.
I look antsy, like he's being antsy. He looks over at Lance and just kind of makes sure, like visually making sure that you've got your shoulder holster, whatever, wherever you keep your gun.
Yeah, you guys are all armed with your standard weapons, whatever you normally have on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna do a very repetitive check on my little Russian snubby or whatever I've got, 38 special.
Sure.
Yep.
And just
Yep,
keep like
there's
checking
bullets in
it,
it.
closing it, like 5
Is
minutes
it-
later,
is it-
check
in
it,
its-
close it again.
Good, good,
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
Yep, there's bullets in it.
Quick
Don't make sure
question.
there's bullets in it. We've already had one instance of someone try to shoot an unloaded gun.
That's true.
Shooting
You had a
things
question?
is not what I usually do. Yeah. Who's driving?
The guy who's driving is the guy who's what you presume is the security guy, the guy who's
The drunkard?
been faking being passed out at the bar.
Drunkard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He can fit one of you in the front seat, and the other three will have to squeeze into the back.
I'm
But
little.
in the
old.
1930s, these are like the back is probably like a bench seat, so it's fine.
Is there a tire seat? You know.
Oh, well, Zheng is not a very large person, so he can fit the back one nicely.
Yeah, I'm presuming Zheng and Tiffany are the smallest, so they'd be two of the ones in the back.
Mm-hmm. And what about, what's his face? The doctor.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
I
person
assume
we
he's coming
picked up
with us.
with the
Oh.
briefcase.
Yeah,
The front also
Dimitrov.
has bench seats, and so there's people crammed in all of them. Yeah, that's right. Driver
No.
plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the
Yeah,
doctor
there's-
sitting in the back
front
with
and
us.
back are both bench seats, so there's
Unless we put him in the trunk. You know, we've already done that once.
Very
Yeah,
comfy.
Don's will crinkle his nose if he has to sit next to Dimitrov, but he
Well,
won't
then-
protest.
We'll assume Dawn is then in the back with Tiffany and Zheng, and Lance is going to ride up front.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
The
Where
car
are we
begins.
Where are we putting Dimitrov?
He's in the front, in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awkwardly
Yeah, that's-
sandwiched between Lance and the driver.
And the car begins to make its way toward the airfield. Dimitrov is again just clutching this. Those of you that know that the device is switched, and I think the whole party at this point has some
Kind of
knowledge
figure.
that was the plan and has
Mhm.
figured that out. You might even feel bad for him that he's holding so tightly to something that is.
It comforts him. It's a
I mean,
matter
it
of
comforts him because he's trying to use it to buy his way out of the country. He doesn't know that he has no leverage.
I'm currently happy that he feels so happy having my work. It makes me as an engineer feel fulfilled.
Okay.
Oh Lord. All right. So I assume nothing happens on the way to the airport.
As you near the airfield, you notice there is an increase in Soviet goons. Well, soldiers, but
All right.
yeah. There seems to be a strong military presence, more than you would expect even for an airport.
Oh my. I believe we have become rather popular.
No, we're
Listen-
not.
Listen, if we get stuck at a checkpoint, let me do the talking, or driver, you can do the talking.
I'm not going anywhere closer.
Wait, so we have to get out now? How are we supposed to get through the checkpoint?
Look, there's still people going in and out. I suggest you don't go as a big group. Split yourselves up.
I go with him and I point to the guy who speaks Russian.
Okay.
I go with him, and I point to Lance.
I'll grab the Russian sitting next to me.
I suggest you go in groups of 1s and 2s.
Ah,
Just
Probably a good idea. There is wisdom in your words.
okay.
and also I'd put those guns in your I'd hide those guns in your luggage. We don't wanna
You don't want them on your person. I thought that would be a wise. That would be a wise thing to do.
I'm going to open my briefcase and try to find a place to put the revolver. Not like it's trying to be like secret, like black market, like put away, but just kind of like
Just place it casual.
yeah, exactly. So like if they do go through our stuff and they open it, it's a Russian revolver. They probably shouldn't have that. They'll take it away type thing, but he's not gonna try to stick it up somewhere where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, why is he walking so funny?
getting your gun confiscated is one thing, as long as it doesn't land you in the gulag.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I also will hide it in the front, in some of my oil
Sure.
cloths that I have.
Oh,
If you're gonna hide it as something that people aren't gonna want to touch.
yep.
Yep.
Those are my unmentionables.
Oh!
Well, now you mentioned them. You're doing
Yes.
it.
So Zheng is perfectly happy to walk on his own if
Yeah,
necessary.
as he does not have a gun to hide. I'm presuming
And he is very good at
when they get
being
to the
unobtrusive.
checkpoint.
Yeah, he's very good at being unobtrusive.
What do people look like as they're going through the checkpoint?
I mean, it's hard to not be a little nervous when, the Soviet military is there. But they don't seem. I mean, some of them seem a little nervous. Others are more used to this kind of thing.
Are people going through? Is this into the airfield?
Yes.
Can I ask?
Are they checking papers?
Occasionally they'll stop someone and, ask questions or check papers.
Can I ask him how to say maintenance worker in Russian?
Ruski?
I'll look it up in the dictionary.
He tells you the phrase.
Yeah. Can I practice that phrase and ask the other person who's him how to do that? And then I want to tie like my clothes are probably a little bit dirty, but if I have an extra oil rag, well, not quite oily, but like I want a bandana
Sure.
type thing.
You want to look grungy, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to look
yes.
like somebody who's there to fix planes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm going for.
One of the few countries can probably pull that off.
So, how are you going to play this? You going to have us roll?
I am going to have you guys. Depending on your approach, you might be rolling different skills. Like you might be a deception roll, it might be a stealth roll. So
Where
let
did
me
the-
look at your character sheets and figure out what you guys might have a chance with.
Yeah,
Take
I'm
a look. Yeah, take a look at my character sheet for a
Um,
second here.
All
La,
right.
la,
So
la, 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 la. I'm tempted.
Zheng, I will let you make your decision. You can do it as a stealth roll if you're trying not to get noticed altogether.
Right, that's what I was wondering if with that kind of
Or-
image where, yeah,
Yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
you don't really have any skills to talk your way through the checkpoint.
I know a lick of Russian, so yeah, I will probably he'll bow to the rest and say I shall make my way in on my own. I assume we arrange a meeting place,
Okay.
and and he will kind of just set off and disappear into the bushes, kind of thing, into an alley,
Okay.
and
So let's get a stealth roll from Zheng.
okay, let's go over here. Da, 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 da. There you are. No modifier. So, boom. What did I roll? Oh,
And
very good.
You're not noticed.
Yes.
You
Can-
kind of like Assassin's Creed style. You find a large group of people and kind of just slip in.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
It's one of those where there's a family carrying a lot of luggage, and all of a sudden they have a porter who's
Yeah.
carrying a couple suitcases, following along,
Can
being
I
invisible.
have my item that we have that the random item that is
Yes,
random?
your bonus resource, the device.
Yes, can I have that with a screwdriver and be messing with it as I walk through the gate, please?
You can.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't know what I'm supposed to roll, but I'm probably going to want to use some of my
Look
dice.
at your character sheet and we'll see.
Stealth is only a 3,
Are
so I probably want to do a stealth check.
you think?
Yeah, because I can't do any sort of other
Yeah,
check.
disguise can fall under.
Disguise?
Well, disguises could fall under stealth. They could fall under.
Yeah.
deception. But yeah, you can. You're essentially doing it as a disguise. So yeah,
Is stealth disguise?
I will let you roll stealth, and I will even give you a bonus because you don't actually have to stay hidden. You just have to not stand out too much.
Hold on.
So I'll give you a +2 bonus to your stealth.
Dice pool modifier or just a +2?
Dice pool modifier. Be
Okay.
just.
Can
put
I
it in-
add it? Can I add an additional one from my
You can.
so 3?
And remember, just put the number. Don't put a plus, or it screws up the entire. You learn
Let's
that.
put that, and let me go here. Yay! That was pretty good.
All right, so you get through, and like you said, you're just kind of being just stealthy enough to be unobtrusive and look like you're supposed to be there, and it works.
The screw doesn't like pop out as I'm walking through security.
Nope.
Start swearing in Russian. That's good. That's good.
Swearing in Russian that you do not speak. It's like the little kid version of Russian where you somehow learned the swears.
Yes. Yes.
All right, who's up next?
Oh,
So I would like so Don exits out of the vehicle very stiffly and
Mhm.
starts to walk toward with his briefcase, kind of almost hugging his briefcase until he can find a newspaper stand, and he'd just like to get a Russian newspaper. And we're all going by ourselves, right?
That's what I'm assuming, because everyone else has gone by themselves so far.
All right. He's gonna look back to the car one last time, take his hat off briefly, and like, kind of salute with it, and then go in towards the gate, unfold the newspaper, and just kind of like go straight through without saying anything, looking at the Russian newspaper.
All right, I'm going to let you do this as a deception check with a +2.
Is that con?
Yes. I keep saying deception because that's what it is in like every other game.
It's a
You get yourself
Con.
noticed.
Uh-oh.
At this point, the soldiers come over and begin questioning Dawn. They are... I'm going to have Dawn make a bureaucracy roll.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna try to do so in his kind of broken Russian and drop the name of his old acquaintance in the government. What I
Sure.
can't remember what his name was, but just try to drop the name and get out of it.
Okay.
How would this work? There we go. So it's another one.
It's not working. They are suggesting that you come with them. It's
He'll-
not really a suggestion because one of them unholsters a gun.
Yeah, he's gonna like fold up the newspaper, hand it to the one without the gun, and just like gruffly acquiesce.
Okay. I need perception checks from everyone else to see if they notice this.
I don't think I did.
I'm going to say Lance notices this because he's kind of watching Dawn go through.
I inform Mr. Uncle Zheng of also what
Okay.
happened because I
Yeah.
assume I see it with a 7.
Yep. So those of you that are inside the checkpoint notice, as do those of you that are outside, and you guys see Dawn getting walked toward, a small building that's probably like a guard station.
Is it inside of the fence or outside of the fence?
It is inside. It is inside of the fence.
Well,
So
I think-
before we do that, what is Lance doing? He's on the.
Well, I'm going to take advantage of that guards being busy and just kind of walk straight through stealthily.
Okay, well then you can stealth with a bonus because they're distracted. Or actually, just stealth and I'll give them a penalty on their end. Yeah, Lance makes it through. So you guys are all able to interact with one another. And you see Dawn being led into this guard station.
I suggest we find the pilot as well as figuring out.
Let's get our exit strategy worked out. We must find a way out. Then we can help Don. The less things we have to do once we wake the hornet's nest, the better.
Okay.
We must be ready to fly.
Yeah. I start looking around for a about under 6 foot, slim-ish person who is
Do
in
an
its
investigation check.
a what?
Investigation.
Who?
Whoever wants to do it. You guys
That
are
wouldn't be me.
working as a team, so I presume any of you can do it. And if two of you have the skill, you can.
I think Don was the one with the skill, or Lance should have it.
There we go.
So
I also did it as well.
okay.
Okay.
So in poking around, you guys can't find the pilot, but you think you found the plane. It's
Start it up, Tiffany.
it's
Can I start doing pre?
like the registration number on the plane is American. The painted on the side of the plane is the name of the plane, which is the Saturday Night Special. And so, given what you've heard about this guy being basically a rum runner, it makes sense that he would name his plane after a gun.
Can I
Yeah.
start doing pre-flight checks, such as making sure there's fuel, and
You absolutely can.
yeah. Do I need to do engineering for that, or
Yeah, we'll call that engineering.
yeah, we're getting this baby going.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh, boy.
Tiffany's going around doing the pre-flight checks on the plane, checking the fuel, checking all the instruments. What are the rest of you doing? And she looks enough like a mechanic. Like she purposely,
Right. She looks like she belongs to doing what she's
She looks
doing.
like she should be doing exactly what she's doing. So
Right.
I'll put my suitcase on, put my gun in my belt, and go over towards the guardhouse and just sit down somewhere and watch what's going on indirectly.
okay.
Yeah, that was my thought. I mean, once we get the go ahead that we're ready to go, we'll deal with rescuing Don. But so Zheng will probably be just standing by, looking around, trying to be as unobtrusive as possible, but looking around all the same.
Quick check while I'm doing the pre-flight examinations. Can I look and see if there's a paper flight plan for what where we're going?
Yes.
Make an investigation check.
Again, okay. I'm gonna check behind the seat first.
Sure.
Where it was before. Investigation. Submit. Wow, that was really
You
good.
managed to find in the cabin of the plane. You managed to find a flight plan. It's basically, heading from Russia. You're heading to the west. Brief stop to refuel in Poland, and then onward to Britain.
Okay.
Like you are covering basically you're flying the entirety of Russia in this.
Oh,
Yes.
This is really gonna suck if we are found out before we take off, because I think radios are faster than.
And then, but
flying.
also because you rolled so well, you also find another flight plan. This one has you going south to, brief stop in China to refuel, before continuing stop in Indonesia, end up in Australia, and then, basically heading the other way to get to America. Stopping, so Australia, then to Hawaii, and then to America.
Hey Jeff, I just noticed you climbed in.
Yeah,
I
just got here.
And then you find a shotgun, also like under the instrument panel. There's a shotgun secured there. And at this point, as Tiffany is marveling at what she found, she finally notices the man with the pistol, or possibly a pair of brass knuckles, watching her, searching his plane. So,
Does this man look 30-ish, a little under 6 foot, and slightly on the slim side?
he does.
Wonderful. Is he close enough to be within hearing range if I talk normally?
He is. It's not a very big cabin in the plane, and he is
Uh,
right in the doorway of it.
I point to him and I say, McCoy?
Yes.
I take it you're the pilot.
Yeah, I've been known to fly or drive or whatever. Yeah, I'm very efficient with things with moving
Oh,
parts.
thank God. Okay. So we were coming in, and we all got in except for the suit
The one guy.
person. The one guy. There's 2 more over there, and sorry, Mr. DM, hold on.
Dimitrov.
Yes, thank you. Did he also get in? I was not.
He is currently with Lance and Zheng.
Perfect. I
Right.
say those 3 are on board, and then there's also 1 more that's in the guard station. So we're not quite sure when he's getting out.
Yes, please. And Zheng is standing behind McCoy. Yes, please. How soon could you be prepared for liftoff?
Just give me the word, and I'll get things moving.
Very well. We shall
Meanwhile-
be. I believe the American state word is coming in hot.
Very hot.
I'm used to things like that.
Very good. Very good. It's very honored to meet you, honorable pilot.
Meanwhile, inside the guard station,
Yes.
Before I
Yeah.
get to the holding cell or the office or whatever, and really
Mhm.
kind of being marched down a hallway, I don't know how much room there is. But what are the guard? How many guards are there?
well, there were two at the gate. One is marching you,
So
and
there's
he's behind you. He's got a hand on your shoulder, and you know that he's got a gun somewhere near your back.
So I
He's-
still have my briefcase, right?
Yes, he did not take your briefcase.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
look over my shoulder as he's kind of marching, and he's gonna say, "Hey, you want to watch? You can have a watch."
It's a Rolex.
I don't know what kind of watch he'd have, but he's
It'd probably be a Timex,
yeah.
Everyone
It'd
had
be nicer than they could get in Soviet Russia, at the very least.
Yeah,
It's like,
most certainly.
I'm gonna try to say in Russian. I don't know if I have to roll for this or if I'm kind of proficient enough now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say I got a plane to catch. I don't have time to go through the whole rigmarole here. You just take the watch. Take my money. I'm gonna pull out my wallet and
Go ahead
pull out
and
whatever cash
know
that I've got.
I don't know what this would be, but I'm gonna call it a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Because bribery is a form of diplomacy.
I will use 2 style points for this because I really don't want to get into any kind of major combat before we get into the air. So that's 2 style points plus 2.
You don't want to
just
get
2.
shot down before you take off. I get it.
It's 4. So I pull out all the cash in my wallet, U.S., Russian, whatever. I was like, "Here, take the watch.
He takes
Take-"
the cash. He takes the watch.
And if there's a second where like we're just looking at each other, I'm just gonna hug my briefcase and like slip past him and try to start
Yeah.
walking back towards.
Okay. So you guys are waiting outside. You see Dawn come, moving, not running to attract attention, but moving quickly enough that you know you shouldn't dally, coming out of the guardhouse.
Ah,
He takes off his hat, mops his brow, puts it back on, and starts
Go ahead,
like,
start the engines. We're ready.
Mr. Bridger is obviously a resourceful young man. I believe it is time for us to fly.
Okay, starting engine 1. Yeah.
I hope that this flight is just as entertaining as the last one was.
Oh, good.
As he
Oh,
flips
if you want
himself in
things
the seat.
entertaining, I can make him entertaining. That's
Well, do you want to sacrifice your plane? That's how entertaining the last flight was.
well. I think I can do. I typically like to keep my planes, in working order after I've flown them. I typically don't have a problem with making a landing. It's like
Yes, I approve of that strategy.
so is
yeah.
the
Hurry up, Don. We gotta go.
propeller
Go!
starting at this point?
What's that?
Are the
Yeah.
engines starting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
The
Don's
plane
gonna
is-
like run up again, hugging the briefcase, holding his hat, like trying to jump up onto the plane, even though it's not moving yet. Kind of hoists himself up and he says, "Sorry, I'm late." I'm gonna look around and just try to find a seat.
All right.
Ah,
So as far as I understand, everyone is currently on the plane.
Yep.
You're in the process of taking off.
I'm gonna do a quick check, looking over at the cockpit to make sure that Tiffany is not the pilot this time.
Yeah, if she wants a co-pilot, that's because if this is a
You might learn something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and it's like a lot of times it's like most of these if it's a long distance plane, it's typically is designed to have a pilot and co-pilot, but
Right.
It is.
Cor-
Get it pointed in the right direction.
One must never, one was never let an opportunity for education pass by.
So this is what the plane looks like, the interior and exterior.
Uh-huh. Ooh, okay. Awesome.
So, pilot and co-pilot here. It's a cargo plane, so there are these little seats along the side, but it's, it's not made for comfort.
Now, is this a gunnery seat or something? Or?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Is that a gunnery seat there in front?
It is. This plane does not have guns on it, but it's had some modifications, little aftermarket work done. Like, it doesn't have guns, but it could.
But it could. All right. Well, I'll happily take one of the seats. Sit there, my satchel on my lap.
All right.
Looking
the
around
plane
the
begins
entrance.
taking off, and before you know it, you guys are in the sky.
All right.
So you've got, as I said, you've got these two flight plans. One takes you over Europe, and then one takes you south through China, then into China, then to Australia, then Hawaii, and finally to America proper.
So one's... Oh, okay.
And then the other one takes you across Europe, so you'd stop just the other side of the Soviet border. You'd stop in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Is this up for discussion, or is this just amongst the pilots?
Well, right now only Tiffany and McCoy know that you guys have multiple flight plans. So if they wish to share with you,
like I said, I'm just a passenger.
Yeah, I just announced, it's like, okay, where you guys want to go? You want to go to Europe, or you want to go back to the U.S.? It's like, I'm fair either way.
Flight plan B seems better to me.
Which one's B, lady? Back to the
one that was better hidden.
Okay, so the one you found second, the one that would involve you guys would leave Russia, go to
Russia, China,
stuff in
Indonesia,
China,
Australia,
then
Hawaii, USA.
go to Australia, and then over to Hawaii. And
Yeah. I can speak the same language as Australians.
Well, I'm fine with Europe either way. It's like
Australia is basically the same language. You just use the C word a lot more.
How about the option that is the least amount of flight time over the Soviets?
That would be the option that involves passing over China.
Well, we could always, land somewhere and change our flight plan too. That's if we want to go via the India route. It's
you guys don't
Zheng-
have to follow the plan. You
Yeah.
guys want to go somewhere weird.
well,
Well,
I'm just saying we could go to Europe via India, the Middle East.
we
that
could-
route versus,
we could go to Greenland, then came,
because we're
the way
right
we did
about
it
here,
before.
or
So
the way you had it
you guys
before.
are like here. It's the part of Russia that is basically Korea.
oh, okay.
Somewhere in
Like-
here, I think, or no?
Yeah.
Like there? I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's right to the right of where you were was,
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah, you guys are in the part of Russia that is basically right on the Korean Peninsula.
Correct. So going down to China is not really that difficult.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised there's
it's
not a
one
way
of those
going to
you-
Midway.
If you want to avoid flying over Russia, then you're going to have to take the Asia route, because if you fly over to Europe, you'd literally be flying over all of
Russia.
Yeah.
Or USSR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason we had to crash our plane on the way here.
Yeah. All of that.
You crashed your plane, boy.
What
You
about
call yourself a pilot?
It was on purpose,
welcome,
actually. And can I start
Mongolia?
Can I start giving the description of what I messed up and claim it?
Especially because you can do it again.
And I start naming all of the mechanical parts of the plane, did what I did to it mid-flight.
just shaking my head. It's like, why mess up a perfectly good plane? There's plenty of ways that you can get them shot down. Back in the Great War, there's a
Yeah, well,
I start interestingly listening to his story.
nodding. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
God.
we were avoiding getting shot down.
Yes, everyone had parachutes, and we were not caught when we landed with the parachutes.
Well, good thing you have chutes. I'm not quite certain if this old crate has any.
Oh my. Well, that's.
I'm glad we got a pilot.
Well, there goes
Okay.
plan jump.
That wasn't that much fun last time.
McCoy is pretty sure the plane has one, but he's not telling you where that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I could see, especially if I'm hearing about them jumping out of it, it's like and sabotaging their own plane. It's like, what?
I could probably fix it mid-flight.
Don't really.
you pilot.
you probably,
I was just kind of nervous to fix it when they wanted me to fix it after I messed it up. When
Yeah.
this person was holding, yeah, I didn't want to leave him there.
Okay, well, if so, I take it. Does the flight plan go over Japan and then the China? Because I'm guessing-
Russia to China to Indonesia
Yeah.
to
So
Australia
Hawaii-
to Hawaii to
First
USA.
refueling stop would be Shanghai,
Okay.
and then you're going south. You could possibly stop in Indonesia if you need to refuel,
or the Philippines, or
and then then Australia, and then you go over to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tahiti, maybe?
I've never
Or-
been there.
that's in Java and Indonesia. Yeah, those are the.
I have a question for the people who are smarter with politics. How close are Russia and China as far as, sharing?
not at all.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Historically,
I
that depends on what part of China. China is
Oh, okay, that's
currently
fair enough.
facing a lot of strife right now. There's the nationalists who kind of ousted the emperor, but then the Maoists are also kind of getting started.
Mm,
And it's pre-Sino-Soviet split, so the Maoists and Stalin are on better terms than they will be in a few
Are the
decades.
Maoists in Shanghai?
No.
No, I think that's more of the nationalist.
Perfect.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
Yeah.
more the nationalists.
Yeah. Of course, and in the U.S., because this is after the sand pebbles and all that stuff. The U.S. still has some, spheres of influence in China.
Mhm.
Hong Kong with the UK
Yep.
is pretty strong. A lot of the Europe has, different spheres of influence in
Mhm.
China, so it's sort of not too bad for the most part.
What year is this again?
1930 something.
mhm.
Like 35, 36, yeah. So
It's the 1930s as you'd see it in the movies. So any historical inaccuracies for the sake of story must be tolerated.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of the Russo-Japanese War, because that's
Yeah.
was-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Can I ask him about his modification to the plane he did underneath where the
Wait, no,
guns-
the Russo-Japanese War was like the early 1900s. That's over.
no,
yeah.
it was.
The
Oh, okay.
1904,
Oh, for okay.
1905.
Teddy
Okay,
Roosevelt,
you're right. Sorry,
he got the peace thing for ending that one.
but I thought there was something going on
Peace
right
Prize.
before World War II, because the whole Russian and Japanese were having some.
Yeah.
Well-
No, it
well,
wasn't
again, there's
Russian,
a whole
Chinese.
there's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
issues in China currently because
That might be
they're.
it.
China and Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, China and
They've always-
Japan have
Yeah.
had historic tensions between them,
Yeah.
but the big conflict right now, there's one in Spain and there's one in China because both
Okay.
are kind of mid unrest.
Yeah, they invaded Manchuria in 31. So,
Wow. How do you know about the future?
well, if this is in the 30s, that's
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
They invaded it in 31. Okay, I asked you about the modifications to the underneath compartment.
Like it's pretty much set up for a gun.
Yeah.
The only thing missing is the actual gun.
Where'd you put that?
Let's just say it's something that's thinking ahead,
So you don't have one on the plane?
Well, if you have it somewhere else, I could potentially install it.
That would be nice if we needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might be something Aegis will get us at some point.
At some point, you guys will get a gun for the plane.
So you can use that gunnery skill.
Yes. With my intelligence score.
Welcome
Hey, you have
aboard.
to remember you add the weapons, lethality too. So it's
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Hotchkiss.
Yes, indeed. I have a 7 rating for this.
We'll see about that. The party might get
Yeah.
like a Hotchkiss gun at some point to mount on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, I
What was the one? The French one, Legant or something like that. I'm trying to remember that. Legant. Anyway, too long.
Yeah.
All right. So we're traveling along. So did I hear correct? And we are to be going to Shanghai.
Yeah.
well. That's what I was thinking. It's like that's why I was thinking maybe flying. I would think the route over Japan might have been safer than going over Manchuria if this is the time that Japanese is invading there. That was the only thing I was wondering. Because
Which one would be more fun from a cinematic point of view?
it's more fun
Hey.
flying over a war.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
remember,
stuff planned
This
either
is a
way.
movie. You know.
So that the problem I have with that is the gun's not attached. If the gun was attached, but it's not attached.
Well, I'm sure you can fix that.
If I had a gun.
Well, but
Yeah, so
you know,
currently
something at a
going
time.
on,
From the back.
you might run into the there's a brief war in the Middle East during this time. There was the Second Sino-Japanese War that started in 1937 and just kind of became part of World War II.
Yeah, the unofficial start.
So we're going to say that we're not quite to the point where the Sino-Japanese War has started yet in this timeline. So the Chinese Civil War has been raging pretty much since the 1920s and will not end until, I think 1950. The Civil War in Spain hasn't quite started yet, but there's a lot of, let's just say, unrest there.
We're not going to Spain.
Yeah. And of course, in Germany, the bad guys from World War II have taken over. But they're not yet the bad guys from World War II. They haven't done that yet.
Well, it depends which year it is, but in the 30s.
Okay, well, yeah, it's like if our flight plan goes over Manchuria, that's fine. I just thought if we could avoid trouble, that's fine. Or well, that and it's like
knowing you probably have business there. I mean, you are a smuggler. You probably are dropping off stuff.
or if I do have a trip that needs to go that route, that's
there you go. In any case, where are we going?
South.
or southwest.
Going into China.
Yeah.
Zheng takes the news inscrutably.
And Professor Dimitrov takes the news not very well at all because
it's just for fuel.
Do you think we could get in the air soon? I'm really nervous about the Russians. I had to talk my way out of those guards, and they might come back for us.
I think we're already in the air at this point.
Yeah,
because you're in the air. You're
good.
We
can fly over international waters because if we're over in this area, we can fly between Russia and Japan.
Yeah, you're more like here. Vladivostok is actually south of Manchuria. It's like right on the border of the Korean Peninsula. Yeah, you can be over water for most of it.
Okay, so just stay in the plane, and him and me will fuel. He'll talk, I fuel. We're good.
To be fair, that sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Are you good at talking? You know,
Oh yeah, I'm a people person.
Does anyone speak Chinese?
Yes,
No,
as
but
a matter of fact.
But if we go to Shanghai or Hong Kong, it's like we should be able to find
English.
someone who speaks English
Yeah.
at the airport,
Yeah.
and that's all we were going to.
There'll definitely be people who speak English in Shanghai, but
Mhm.
you know, just curious if anyone happens to speak Chinese before you.
Well, yeah.
Zheng
Zheng has some
can
familiarity with it. Yes.
Zheng can stay nearby and tell us if there's anybody trash talking us.
Yeah, I figured Zheng did. I didn't know if anyone else had taken that.
No.
But all right.
I probably have a high enough intelligence for language.
Yeah, you could easily pick up languages with your
Mhm.
intelligence and memory.
Yeah.
Like, if you put the point in linguistics, we'll just hand wave it and say, Tiffany quickly learned the local language after spending a week in Shanghai.
Yeah, how much Russian do I know at this point?
Which, you know, that is a very pulp story thing to do. There's always like, after spending a week with the natives of this planet, I began to
Quickly
speak their
learn
language.
language. Yes. Ah, yes.
I have slowly started to understand their meaning. What I thought was once something, in actuality, is not.
Yes.
However, I am still trying to overcome that barrier to be able to figure out what it is, in fact.
Yes. What I had thought was what I thought was a more of a thumbs up gesture seems more equivalent to the phrase "up yours." It turns out these locals don't like me very much.
But I am still confused about their frequent claims of death by snoo snoo. Anyway. Oh God. Yeah, we're losing it here.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything
So-
you guys want to do while you're in flight before you land in Shanghai?
At any point, there might be a point at which I want to go check out the underneath part
Okay.
and see how modifiable this is to attach any sort of needed mechanic
seems like there-
machinery.
Go ahead and make your engineering check, and I'll.
Do, 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 do. 6.
Okay. It definitely seems like this plane could be like it has the mounts there. It's got let me show you on the diagram. So if you look here,
Okay, are we looking inside that plane or outside the plane?
outside. right
Okay.
where I'm-
Yeah.
You know, it's got the windows providing a good range of fire. And it's got the opening like a track that the barrel could pass. So yeah, it seems like it's set up. You would just need to actually get a gun and
Perfect.
install it.
Perfect.
So it'd be a turret type weapon, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to provide you a full field of fire because obviously if you try to shoot behind you, you're just going to hit your own plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, a nose-mounted gun could give you some measure of
forward arc.
yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
This plane is not maneuverable enough that it's going to be dive bombing anything or
No.
doing anything tricky, but you know, better to have a gun than not have a gun.
How secluded is this area? Am I going down from the pilot's seat into this?
Yeah, it looks like it's
Yeah.
a step down.
Perfect. Perfect. Can I further examine the Bertel device?
Yes, you can. And you discovered last time, as I said, that you know it's got
There's
all
a lever.
yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to look closer into the parts that are activated by the lever. Did I?
Okay.
Okay, this is a new science engineering check.
Another 6.
It looks like the lever basically disengages the regular clock mechanics and engages this other set of parts, you believe if you move the lever, these other parts will essentially take over operation of the clock. You're not sure what they would do. They don't seem like they're based on. It doesn't seem like it would continue to tell time if you flip this lever.
Okay,
You're not sure what it would
I want
do.
to see if there's a section of the clock I can open at a different angle, because sometimes there's multiple sections that you can open in a device to get to different sections of the device. So if I can't do that now, I'll do that my next
It
check.
doesn't seem like there's anything that's meant to be opened. Like the back panel is easy enough to take off for repairs,
Mm-hmm.
but anything else you're going to need to start disassembling.
Okay.
You are confident that it will not explode.
Excellent. That's the one thing I was worried about.
You are confident, like you know what. You might not know what it does, but you know it's not a bomb.
Okay. Yeah, that's thank
can
you. That
rule
was
out
what I was very
Highly
worried about.
encouraging. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to blow out the front of the plane while we're flying.
That would definitely
Thank
not
you.
be a good.
Thank you very much.
We
Can
appreciate
Can I measure the amount of time that we have left? Do I have enough time to start disassembling, or do I need to wait for our next?
I'll allow it. We're in narrative time, so you have a couple hours.
Yes. I'm going to start disassembling this.
Make a craft mechanics check.
Science.
See how many pieces go rolling around so you lose them.
Oh, that would make Zheng very happy. Let's see. 5 plus 5. Okay, let's see. Submit. 6.
You carefully remove. You close up the back panel, and you carefully start removing like the face. Carefully removing
the
hand, removing the face of the clock. Again, and you remember where everything goes because of your ability. So
Yeah.
everything like
If it were me taking apart something, which I like to do, I have to take notes.
Yeah.
She's not taking notes.
No. So you're able to see the clock from now looking through where the face of the clock would be. You see there's another mechanism that's kind of almost like a music box type mechanism. Maybe on the hour it is supposed to play some kind of melody.
So I see it, the prongs and the thing and the little spinny thing. Is there anything like attached to the little spinny thing other than the thing?
It looks like there's a separate. Again, whether that lever is engaged or not, it will have a separate effect on the music box part. Is one of the parts that behaves differently if you flip the lever. You're not quite sure how it behaves differently, but it behaves differently.
I've actually taken apart multiple music boxes, so now, I'm like super curious.
I haven't, so I'm not going to be able to get too technical on this.
I have one around there somewhere that I was messing with. Okay. Okay. I assume that is enough time for me for now.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Don's ready.
We're still up in the air, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's. I probably pulled a small pamphlet out of my satchel, filled with Chinese, and just quietly reading it.
What's everyone else doing? What's Don doing while you're in the air?
Don is mostly just kind of taking some time to, again, write in his journal, kind of update things, and then after that, just kind of starts to lean back and take a nap. Finally, catching up from the crazy nights before.
All right, and Lance?
I'm kind of doing what Don's doing. I'm take my notebook for a bit and then put my feet up.
All right. At this point, you guys are approaching Shanghai. So to successfully land the plane safely, I need a piloting roll from McCoy.
I
Okay.
put together the stuff and hide
Sure.
it again. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, we're getting ready to land, people. Miss, do you want to help, or do you just
They'd
want
have
to?
to strap themselves in, but
Yeah, I'm
most
gonna-
of these seats don't have straps.
Can I do any sort of assist in this as well?
Well, if you have a score of 4 or more, you can get
Yeah,
basically.
so he'll get
it'd be a
two bonus
+2.
dice from your assistance.
Yeah.
Pilot. I have a 2+ on my pilot.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but your ranking is 4 or more,
Yeah.
which
Oh.
basically will give me a. Let's see, your pilot's a 5.
Yeah, I have a
yeah.
a base is a 3, levels 2, rating 5.
Okay.
Right. Rating is what's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 4 or higher, so he gets
Yeah.
2 bonus dice
Yeah.
from
Yep.
your assistance.
So I got a total of 4.
You land no problem.
Yeah,
It's not even a bumpy landing. Everyone
Yeah,
is
it's-
quite comfortable.
Much better than last time.
He's
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time when the plane lands, you think it'll actually fly again someday.
Don's actually he's
Someday.
happy.
Part of it's
He
on
sleeps
fire.
through it.
This is the best landing I ever been on, Willie.
So yeah, you guys are in Shanghai.
yeah. If people want to get out and stretch their legs, that's not a problem. Or
Yeah. Also, it's pretty late. Like it's probably closer to 7 or 8 at night now, and you guys have been up for a while, so
Let's go get a real meal.
Did you get the note that I brought extra coffee with me?
didn't see that, but
Oh, I thought I told you. I said, yeah, and I want more of this for later.
I might have just missed it. But
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I believe that. That's not a problem.
Cool. I definitely consider that a resource when you've been up for that late.
Is my presence needed outside the plane?
Don slept through the landing. He's dozed off completely in this chair.
Yeah.
Don's
He's
passed
lying
out
there
in
with
the plane.
a little bit of drool coming down the side of his mouth.
His head back.
Yeah. I can
I'm gonna
dig
stay
it.
here long enough. I'm gonna go get a meal. Nice hot meal. Tastes good to me.
So who is going into town to find food?
I suppose I will need to go since
I would stay with the plane personally.
yeah, I was going to stay just because it's like on, in a foreign country, don't know what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
There's 2 things I want to do. Examine the device, sleep.
Okay.
okay.
So
Wait.
you're staying with the plane. Lance is going to town in search of food. Don's asleep. McCoy is staying with the plane. What is Zheng doing?
Sheng will go with Lance
Okay.
to town to help him find some good food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Lower on my priority list is if you guys happen to find, a mountable gun that has a turret.
There are parts of China that are famous for their black market where you can buy anything.
right.
I'm not quite sure, actually 1930 Shanghai might have such a place, but I'm not quite sure you're just gonna stumble into it.
Right. I was gonna say 1930 Shanghai is pretty much the definition of a den.
That's the
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Like there's definitely
Yeah.
places in 1930 Shanghai where you can buy a vehicle-mounted machine gun. You're not just gonna wander into them by accident.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
look.
no. Yeah, you got to know people who know people.
Yeah, usually there's armed guys to keep you from wandering into them by accident or on purpose, unless you're specifically supposed to be there.
Part of the reason I'm going with Lance because I want to make sure he doesn't end up. After all, the name of the city is Shanghai.
Yes.
There's a term that was coined from that name.
Actually, it was coined because they used to abduct people in like California and send them to
The
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm from San Francisco. I'm aware of that.
So, all righty. All right then. So we're wandering around. We'll go to the nearest open market.
All right. You get to the market and there's all kinds of stuff for sale.
Oh yeah,
You know,
there's super deer.
yeah. There's, I mean,
Would you like a rat?
if you guys want to get enough to bring back to the plane for everyone, you
Yeah.
definitely can.
We'll do a bucket of chicken and rice for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to get like some kind of Chinese pork,
Chicken
rice,
feet.
Probably
chicken.
Feet.
right.
Beaks.
Probably some soup in a container.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You notice
hot and sour.
one of the merchant stalls, there's a couple of guys there who seem to be shaking down the merchant for cash.
Oh.
The yellow peril does not look fondly upon those who refuse to pay.
Oh.
Who do you think keeps the city safe from the war and from the outsiders?
I kind of glance over at Lance.
Do we want to get involved?
That we're only here for a short while.
Yeah, you're right. We could take him in the alley and do something and get some extra cash. You up for a little
Rise an eyebrow. Not quite what I had in mind.
Oh. Oh, you didn't want to roll them? What did you want to do?
Simply, I will just make them, perhaps help them gain some enlightenment so that they can better their relationship with themselves and with the world around them.
Oh, you want to teach them to meditate, huh?
I believe the American saying is, put the fear of God in them.
Ah. Well,
Is that understandable to you?
yeah.
And
But,
he mutters in Chinese something, brown dye guailo.
Sure.
So yeah, we'll get ourselves involved in this little thing. So these guys are shaking this merchant down. What is
They
the
are.
merchant selling?
It's kind of just general, there's just general things. A lot of different kinds of tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I will definitely make my way over there, and I will interrupt the two and basically address the merchant. And go, oh, please, I'm searching for green tea from the Yangshe Valley. Do you have some? Just very, very brave, but very, very.
Before the
delicious.
merchant can respond, one of the goons shoves you.
Oh,
Can't
he
you see we
intends
have
to
business
shove me.
with him, old man?
Yeah, he intends to shove me. Yes.
All right.
So he'll go to shove, and it's literally just the sidestep.
All right.
You are a very rude young man. Do you not understand to respect your elders? What? Your parent have obviously been deficient in your education. Yeah, you start chastising him.
Yeah, my hand slips onto my pistol.
You got to pull a gun out.
No,
He
not out.
glares at
I'm
you.
ready to. Somebody pulls the hatchet or a gun, they're shot. That's
If
what-
one of them pulls out a
Glares
gun,
at
you'll take
you,
care of
but
it.
notices the gun, and that might be the thing that keeps his hand from going to the machete at his belt.
I look at you. I look at Lance with a bit of disapproval. Really? Really? Must you bring a gun into a fist fight? Very, very rude. Anyway.
Again, the presence of the gun is probably what stops this from turning into a machete fight.
Oh. I think perhaps you would be best to go and ponder on your failings. Perhaps after some meditation, you might gain some enlightenment and find that you have better choices in your life than to pursue this.
Do you have any kind of charisma skill, intimidation, or anything
Who,
that
me?
might?
Oh, I'm this little skinny old man. What do you think? I have empathy. That's about it.
Mm,
So, I mean, I
I
am-
will make a straight charisma roll, and I'll let you do this just
Okay.
because this is very much kind of in keeping with your character.
Yeah. Roll the average. Roll the 3.
They begin to. One of the guy's hand goes to his belt. The other one nods toward the guy with the gun. We'll be back. You know who we work for.
Actually, I do not. But make sure to send my regards to him. Actually, it'd be like, I don't know, how out of character for a second. How deep do I want to start this? Because my thought is, perhaps we should be introduced. Perhaps you can take me to him.
Oh, jeez. No. I don't want to miss the plane.
No!
You want to go? Shake. I'm willing to take them in the alley and do some things. Help them lighten their pockets, but
not face down. Not face down the whole green triad.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, it's an afternoon.
On your own.
Just some afternoon's entertainment. I mean, come on.
You know who we work for. Pang Liao will hear of this.
I feel at this point there's like a whole Chinese movie that happens where one man goes and takes down an entire gang and then comes back to the plane before we take off.
It'll end with nice try, Lao She. And close the door.
Yeah. But they go scampering off. The shop owner, is very. He bows.
Thank you, but they will be back in greater numbers. Pang Liao does not forgive his debts.
And so you have debts?
Pang Liao believes all of Shanghai owes him a debt.
Ah, I see. It
Well,
is a heavy burden indeed.
Pay them all for you, but we gotta leave. Our boat's about to go.
Before you leave, he gets a bundle of the tea leaves and presses it into Zheng's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Accept this for saving me.
Yeah, he bows deeply. We're very, very grateful.
Well, let's get back for
May the wisdom of Buddha, enlighten your path.
You guys return to the plane.
Mm-hmm.
As you're going back. Meanwhile, someone comes up to the plane. A Westerner.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
And, comes right up to the door of the plane and knocks on it.
What can I do for you, Mac?
Yeah.
You might as well power down your engines. You're not going to be able to leave tonight. Storm's on the way, and we're going around. Everyone's going to be grounded until it passes.
See, we could have gone over and talked to the old man.
No, stupid, it got cold.
I look and see if he looks like does he look like a mechanic, or does he look like he's from having these insignia from the airport or whatever where we're at? Because just some guy wandering up is like on, I don't know if I dressed him or not.
He's in a uniform. And again, this airport is kind of maintained by the Western powers. So
there's a chance.
Yeah. He's not really uniform, but like shirt and tie, and he's got an insignia on his shirt indicating you believe this guy is legit an employee of the airport.
Yes. So we don't need to roll an empathy and an intelligence to check the weather.
You could roll an intelligence to check the weather.
How would I check that?
It would actually be a survival check if anyone has survival.
I do.
Well then.
Oh my god! There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, you see, even though it's getting dark, you see like the massive clouds in the distance.
Thunderheads, yeah.
Judging by the wind direction, they are coming your way.
Ooh, that looks ugly. Do they know about how long they think it'll last?
You should be able to fly out of here in the morning. We're just grounding everyone for the night.
Is there a hangar we can go into, or?
I think
we don't have anything big enough for this plane. You'll have to
tie her down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have Anchors.
What's going on? Don kind of settles into his chair, stands up, and goes to try to listen in.
Yeah, I'll send some guys out here to help get secured, and we'll get you on the list to take off in the morning once we can get the runways cleared.
Mm-hmm. Well.
And then he leaves and goes to the next plane, and as you kind of watch him go to the next plane, kind of presumably repeat the same shtick. You can't hear him.
Yeah.
The guys arrive with the food.
Hey, we got some hot and sour soup and some.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That smell. It's so good.
Yeah, it smells really good. You guys have the food.
I have some rat. Would you like rat?
You guys weren't followed, were you?
Followed?
Why would we be all followed?
I don't know. Right now,
they exchange a side look because they don't know why Tiffany would be afraid of anyone following them. Because
I'm instinctively distrustful right now.
Lighten up. We're out of Russia. What can go wrong?
Someone said it.
We didn't roll those guys. We thought about it, but
I would like to introduce myself formally to Jeff's character McCoy, because I've been in the back sleeping and haven't had a chance to really meet the pilot. So Don introduces himself and all that.
I give this man the highest recommendation for piloting.
I slept right through it.
Well, little Missy, you have some talent there. I think with a little bit of effort, you could be as good as I am.
Oh boy, you missed your flight. We had so much fun taking off last time.
So much fun.
So much fun.
So much
it was
fun.
very exciting. Yes.
Now, McCoy, what do you do for beds in here? Because if we're gonna have to stay here, the chairs are only so comfortable. He tries to pop his back.
I call dibs on the gunner seat for sleeping.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how good these the pilot seats are sleeping. I tend to keep my eyes open when I'm in the plane.
Yeah, you might even assume that airplane seats are made uncomfortable to help keep the pilot awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no opening the window when you're on a plane to help keep you awake.
Well, technically, the turret would have open windows because
the turret would.
Yeah,
that's true. True. Good point.
Yeah,
so they're probably more comfortable.
Modern planes,
well,
pressurized.
Is there any cargo on the plane?
There's a few boxes of crates of
Which
stuff.
Which means there's probably some tarps.
Yeah, we need to pick up some fireworks here. I hear they're always cheap down here.
Okay, there you go. Oh, yay! Yeah, I'm sure there's enough tarps. And stuff that
he was probably going to be taking on more cargo, but White House kind of told him that getting you guys out of Russia was urgent.
And paid extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Don will try to find a way to make comfortable the cargo hold as best. I used to have like a designated kind of like, this is your berth, this is your bunk, etc.
Yeah, there's a survival pack on the plane that has one of those like thermal blankets.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's a fire blanket. So,
well, I figured there's probably our tarps for covering cargo and stuff, so you can probably bunch up and make a little bed.
Yeah.
So
you guys can find some way to make do with what you have. It's not going to be the best sleep, but you're also
especially if there's a storm coming in. And it might be a little shaky in the plane.
You've all been up for close to 48 hours at this point, except for Don, who grabbed a nap on the plane. You guys are probably going to sleep like babies.
Yeah, I'll take a watch maybe. I'd like to go into the town and check the flea market. I gotta pick me up a new watch.
That's right.
Do you have money?
Storm lets up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll trade for it.
Hear the rain start hitting the plane. Any plans to hit the market might have to wait until tomorrow because
definitely was planning to do that anyways. Not at the middle of the night.
Yeah, the open air market's probably not going to be open during
the rain. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I will take a first kind of watch just because I just slept, and so I'll be good for a couple hours at least.
Okay. Sounds good.
So
I want to use my backpack as a pillow as I sleep.
All right.
yeah.
Accidentally
literally-
hit a control while you're.
Hold on. I'm going to knock at my door. I'm just going to go make sure it's not like.
Critical.
Okay.
Go for
Sure.
it.
My
Well-
kids like to knock on the door.
I'm thinking, what would Don do to occupy himself? Because he caught up on his journal. I guess maybe he'd.
I got a
Have
deck of
Rubik's.
cards. You want to play solitaire?
Oh, if you got
Has-
cards, I would love to play cards. Is you willing to stay up for at least a game? Maybe not solitaire. Maybe like poker or something. Rummy. We'll play rummy.
Hmm. Well, as you know, as mentioned, Zheng will probably take the opportunity to have his turn to sleeping.
Yeah. I imagine probably everybody should sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know what fatigue rules are exactly in HEX, but
Eh,
staying
not-
up long enough, I'm sure we'll do something.
Make you pass out as you try to do a pull up?
hmm.
Yeah, I'm sleeping down by the innermost turret section.
I'm gonna take a second now, grab some water.
I'll play a game of gin with you.
Oh, what was that?
Want to play a game of gin? I can stay up for a bit.
Don lights up at the prospect of some cards. It's been a week since I've had even opportunity to think about playing cards. He pulls up the crate, starts look. Well, do you have cards? I don't have cards actually.
Yeah.
Of course you got
I
cards.
don't go anywhere without them. I loved it.
Oh boy.
You don't gamble, do you?
I do, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't even have a watch, let alone money.
Fresh out of money. I'll play for an IOU.
Okay.
First drinks back when we get to the States.
Okay. Your credit's good. Don't get killed between now and then.
What would this end up being? Do you want to do? Is this not larceny roll?
Well,
Would be.
if
No,
you have the
that
gambling
gambling is an actual
skill,
skill.
Oh, it is
There's
a
a
Yeah.
skill.
Oh yeah, there's an actual gambling skill. So if
skill.
you don't have it, then basically you're rolling. I believe it's your intelligence, but just one die because
Yeah.
you don't have it.
So I'm not trained in gambling, but I will play around if you want to and just see what happens.
Okay.
Just want a post roll, or how would you?
Yeah, let's roll.
Okay.
Have fun.
Oh, that rolled way too wrong. Oh no, that was yours. Never mind.
You didn't roll any dice. I think Dawn did something wrong.
I rolled 1, but rolled a 0. Cause,
Average.
because it's I'm not trained in it, so it's 1 die. So
So sorry about that. It was my neighbor coming to tell me there's a courier downstairs because apparently Target offers free same-day delivery. So I didn't realize I had ordered something for same-day delivery.
well, there you go.
So the emergency was
Ooh,
a little figurine that will interface with my Nintendo Switch.
sweet.
Wait, who is that?
Hold on.
The screen is blurry.
Joker.
Okay. I see.
Okay.
So that was the emergency. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Yep, no worries.
Very urgent.
So Lance and Dawn stay up a smidge longer to play some cards. Dawn gets
Okay.
cleaned out and now has an IOU.
Yeah.
And a
Dawn
promise not to
basically-
die between now and then.
Don just kind of gambled away a big chunk of his paycheck from Aegis when they get back to.
Yep, pretty much.
Swaps the cards down
because
on
he
the
kept
table.
betting and
like,
raising. It's like
Man,
it's
one more round,
I'm
I'll
certain
win
that
it back.
Will win.
So it'll probably be like me playing cards the last time we actually played cards together, where I was cleaned out twice.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dawn lets Lance go to bed, probably smugly because Dawn's lost so many games.
Yeah.
But I'll stand watch.
Does Tiffany take any more time to look at the device before going to bed, or is she just going to sleep?
I may, because my natural curiosity is, I think, a flaw. I don't know if it's a flaw or not a
Let me
flaw.
look at your character sheet because I think that is your flaw.
It's
Curious.
motivation and ambition. Loves fixing things and seeing how things work. No, there's an actual section. Flaws.
Looking at
Curious.
the character sheet,
Yes,
flaws,
I'm
curious.
I'm very curious.
So I will give you a style point if your flaw gets the better of you and you press the lever.
We're on the ground.
This would
What's the worst that can happen?
this would make
I
a
don't
really
want to,
good
but she would totally do
cinematic
it.
scene.
Okay.
I'm imagining
They're over playing cards. I get my screwdriver out and I crank
Open the back of the clock, flip the lever.
if you think about it, this
lever is flipped. Once the lever is flipped, the clock begins moving. You hear the music box part, rather than playing music, plays what appears to be 5 notes that do not go together.
Ooh,
It plays them quite loudly, so the people playing cards probably hear it.
What
The hands of the clock then go, the hour and the minute hand go in unison to the 12, and then go together, moving in perfect unison. 1 to the 5, all the way around, stopping again at the 3, and then stopping at the 7. Before splitting, one going to the hour hand going to the 12, the minute hand going to the 7, and then it plays those same notes again.
Oh boy.
hour hand was at the 12, minute hand was at the 7.
Yes.
What's that racket down there, girl?
It's a strange storm.
I brought a musical instrument with me.
Learn to play it, please.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I continue engineering
You may.
after,
Can I roll
checking?
some sort of check to see if I can piece together what she's doing?
There's a cockpit between me and everyone else because I am literally down in the nose of the plane.
Okay. Yeah.
So
The plane isn't particularly. I mean, the sound carried. They probably didn't hear everything, but
there's a storm. In my defense.
okay. Again, even if they heard those notes, unless somebody has like the art ability.
Yeah, it's random odd noises.
It's a racket. It's like, what in the world?
Actually, would I be able to not? I guess I have perfect recall, so mental note of what those notes are.
Notes if you heard them again.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Like if you heard those notes, you're like, those are the notes from the clock. But
okay, yeah, I don't know what those notes are. Got it. I continue engineering. Do I need a roll for this now?
yes.
Okay. Roll good. Well, can I send? I'm going to use my flaw dice that you gave me because
I just gave you a
Style point.
style point.
yeah, the style point. Wait, I have 4. Did I get style points?
I gave everyone 1 earlier, or I gave a lot of people 1 earlier for some of the character playing.
Okay.
Except for Willie. Willie gets no style points.
Yep.
I'm actually
I
going
have
to do
no style.
I'm going to do 2 style points because I'm actually extremely curious. So we're going to add 2 to that. Did that work?
Yep.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
I only
Yeah.
got a 3.
As far as you can tell, with all the time you've spent looking at this device, it does exactly 2 things. It's a functioning clock, and it does that sequence I just told you.
I am so excited. Out of character, as a player, I'm so excited to dig into what that code is, because I feel like there's so much like that was built specifically to be something.
Oh yeah. No. I am so wanting you guys to somehow figure out what that code is.
I have to be in character. He has no clue.
Is it possible for me to move the clock piece as well.
While the lever is flipped,
Mhm.
if you move the hands at all, it almost resets the sequence. The tones play again. They go they go back in unison, and then again those same numbers. 1, 5, 3, 7, and then they diverge. Hour hand goes to the 12, minute hand goes to the 7.
Don looks back towards the cockpit and is like, "What is that girl doing?" And then I tried to throw down a pair
Probably,
and like
most
lose
probably
again.
playing, and you hear her kind of tired from the, from the bundle of cloth where Zheng is sleeping, very sleepy voice, probably messing with things man was not meant to know.
Okay, at this point, my natural curiosity.
Dimitrov is heading your way.
Yeah, because if there's somebody who would recognize what that is, yes.
What are you doing?
indeed.
Why do you steal this from me?
Wait, whoa! Are you talking to us? We didn't steal nothing. We're playing cards.
I thought he was sleeping.
Well, you got woken up by hearing a very familiar set of notes.
Twice.
He stands there. He opens the case he's been clutching, and your fake device falls out. What is this? You pull a switch. This is.
You probably uses a very rude.
He comes
Russian
down.
word.
He comes down. He puts his hands on the clock as if to pull it away from Tiffany.
Oh boy, here we go. This is when
Shotgun.
everything explodes.
I think probably Don and Lance, because we'd see him going towards the cockpit. We'd probably look at each other and we should probably
Tiffany,
stop
go ahead
him.
and make a strength check.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
I mean, he is an old man that walks with a cane. You probably don't have to get very high to beat him.
My strength is a 2. Can I add
You roll.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
I'm giving you another style point because that was the
Oops,
second incident of your curiosity making things worse for you.
Let's add 2 to that. So 2.
Despite being an old man who walks with a cane, he pulls the clock away from you and clutches it close. You do not even know what you meddle with. You are just courier.
Well, what are you meddling with?
I am foremost scholar of Britel artifacts in Russia.
Okay, then what does it do?
I'm gonna go wake up Uncle Zheng completely and be like, "Hey, yeah,
Very
we need you up
Can I-
there."
I'm going to need some kind of diplomacy to persuade him to not be mad and to tell you what he knows.
Okay, this is going to be really, really bad.
And it doesn't have to be Tiffany. If somebody else wants to step in and get involved in this,
Well,
Can I have
I could sort of threaten him. It's like, give that little lady back that clock thing and tell her what she wants to know with intimidation. And if I need to use a shotgun to
All right. Yeah,
Just
make
to
an intimidation
sound
check.
Chick Shack.
And I'll give you +2 if you're holding a shotgun.
yeah.
It does tend to make people scarier.
Oh yeah.
I'm fairly scary without it. So
can I
2.
He holds onto the clock, but he looks at you and he looks back at Tiffany. This device is the key to Bratel's greatest work. It is said that Bretel made this device after the fall of Cardinal Richelieu. It was a gift to Cardinal Mazarin to ingratiate himself. But in addition to being gift, it also conceals the location of his greatest invention, a device that is rumored to be the key to understanding heaven and hell. It is called Apparatus Infernum.
Oh boy.
Okay, question. Those keys for the music box. I start asking what exactly. I start asking like specific parts about the mechanics of how it's working, and can I start like asking questions about that?
He doesn't necessarily answer your questions. He tells you, Bretel was known for hiding his secrets in everyday object. Clock is clock, but is also secret message for those smart enough to figure it out.
Okay, so you said this was the key to his greatest invention, this not being his greatest invention, and it also reveals the location of said greatest invention, or the so it was a gift from after Cardinal Richelieu fell to
Cardinal Mazarin to try to. Any more than that, Any more than that require longer conversation, not at point of gun.
And you said apparatus something?
Apparatus Infernum.
Infernum. And this shows you how to get to Apparatus Infernum?
Duh.
That was the impression given.
In the
Sorry,
back.
sir, but I just don't like ladies rough handled. Just doesn't agree with me. I put that
Lady
shotgun.
stole my property. It is. I will turn it over to your employer when I am safe in America, not before.
Well, I think that sounds reasonable. You don't got anything more to gain out of it, do you? Give it back to him, Tiffany.
I wanted to take
He
it
has it back.
apart
He pulled it away
further.
from her.
Yeah, he did. My incredibly low strength score messed me up on that. You said I had nothing else to do with it. I poutingly say, I wanted to take it apart further.
He turns even paler than he ordinarily is and clutches it to him like it's his baby.
You didn't take it apart?
I open back panel, examine the workings, and I would not further.
So you know less about how it works than I do.
I know that Bretel's work is very precise. Many of these devices have been lost by foolish people who would think they can take them apart and reassemble them.
Ooh. Burn.
Does Uncle Zheng actually say that?
No.
Okay.
This is the audience sitting there going, ooh, burn.
Uncle Zheng would probably be like, ooh, the heat of the fire scalds the young lady.
No, actually, when when Willie was saying something about the ladies, and it's like, oh, no ladies in this plane. Kind of rolls over, trying to fall back asleep with all the noise and goings on.
Did you actually say that?
He mutters that.
You guys probably don't hear it because you're all focused on the fight amongst yourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don is gonna kind of be like, that's fine. And he's gonna go get his briefcase, open it up, pull out his revolver, and put it back in his pocket, and close it up, and
obviously we've reached a point where handguns may be necessary. Oh God. Much excitement.
All right.
They left, I assume.
Yeah.
So you're
I look at the clock that he dropped on the ground and mess with the lever and repeat what it did, just making a mental note in my brain, thinking of how does
Well,
that
the one
link
that he
to
dropped was
location?
the counterfeit that you made.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
real
yeah,
one
I know.
don't have with him.
so you're mimicking it with the fake to try to
Yeah.
see the pattern that it went.
I'm mimicking it with the fake, thinking about what it did and if that could possibly lead to a location. Until I eventually pass out in the cockpit because I've been awake for multiple
dreams
hours.
of 1537.
Yes.
You're just
12,
sleeping,
7.
cuddling a cuckoo
Melting.
clock.
Yeah, a clock's
Yeah.
melting on a landscape.
Morning comes soon enough, and you guys are awakened by another knock on the plane.
Can Don answer it, seeing as how he was on watch? Or is anyone
Yeah.
else awake?
Well, I mean, it's in the
Morning.
morning, so it would be if Don
Oh,
took
okay.
first watch, he wouldn't be awake.
Yeah, so
Okay, that's fair.
somebody does.
Yeah,
I
but
hear it
Don
and
can
chug my
still answer
coffee.
it if he's, whoever wants to answer it can.
I'll answer it.
You see a handful of like 3 Chinese guys. One carrying a long gun. The other 2 have machetes at their belts.
Not cleavers.
I'm using the machete stats.
No problem. No problem. I'm thinking Kung Fu Hustle because they use cleavers. But yep, okay. So you got 3 of them. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
And I yell at him, "What in the hell are you doing? Banging on my plane."
We are here for the American and the old man. They have involved themselves in the business of Pang Liao.
Go
I
ahead
don't
and
know.
make a Streetwise check to see if you.
Okay. Turn off my modifier.
The name registers with you, but you don't like the. You know enough to know you've heard the name before, and in the circles you've heard it, it's not the kind of person you want to involve yourself with.
It's like, I don't know who you're talking about. It's like, I don't want any problems with him. It's like, I'm just here, we're just here filling up, and we would have been gone last night, but I don't know what your problem is. I don't like people pointing guns at me. It's
One
like,
of the men with a machete attempts to muscle past you. You can make a strength check to resist him.
okay. Too bad I can't use my intimidation. That's what I was hoping to use.
You know what? If you want to use your intimidation to try to scare
Yeah.
them off, you can do that.
Yeah, my intimidation's actually higher.
So it's a draw. Like, he hasn't pushed past you. You haven't pushed him away.
Yeah.
But if you want to use your intimidation now to try to...
Yeah. It's like, get
Nope.
the hell off my ship or my plane.
He backs away. But not... He backs away from the door, like, so he's with his buddies.
Pang Liao will not take this kindly. Your plane will not be allowed to leave until your passengers have presented themselves.
Meanwhile, what are people doing on the plane?
That's a good question. What are people doing?
I'm getting making myself some tea. I've set this little thing up, put some little powder and a little fire.
I think
kettle
Don was
on it.
wanting to go to the market, so he's probably like tying his shoes after waking up and just kind of getting ready. And with the commotion outside, Don considers Lance kind of like the group's muscle, so he's like looking for Lance to do something.
Zheng,
Oh,
I'm muted. That's why. Can I look out the gunnery section and see if I can kind of tell what's going on and if there's more people out there?
It doesn't appear to be... I mean, there's people out there, but they don't appear to be this part of this group. This group is just the 3 guys who are...
Can I see if there's planes already taking off in the morning?
There are some planes kind of being put,
Taxied.
like, taxiing out on the runway, getting ready to take off. And the
Excellent.
airport officials seem to be working to try to keep the chaos organized.
Yeah. So Zheng is like, he like, put away his stuff. Obviously not getting any tea this morning. Gets up, does that old man.
Yeah.
We should have just rolled them and left them in the alley, Zheng, Uncle. Just
Yeah, it's
being
like
nice to them doesn't pay.
All right, so you guys
Please,
know them?
Please
it's like,
forgive me.
guys, you know what in the hell these people have are complaining about?
Many
Hard word
apologies
for 'em.
to McCoy. This is
Did you know? Sorry, go ahead.
This is obviously a matter
Misunderstood.
that occurred, an incident occurred yesterday. Perhaps if we had left, if not for the storm, it would not have been of continuing concern.
Well, I think that means it must be time for us to leave now.
Well,
Don's
I
gonna
look to.
pull out.
Ow!
Wait. Actually, can Don go towards the cockpit to get that shotgun? For
Yeah, that sawed-off shotgun. That is.
yeah, the one that's up
If
there.
We established this earlier that there is a shotgun like under the instrument panel.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of move towards the
Right.
cockpit and like point
I
to
say-
it for Tiffany. Like, here, hand it here.
Can I check that it's loaded when I hand it?
Zheng will make an appearance at the entrance.
It's just a
You
standard.
look down
shotgun.
at the gentleman.
The stats
that
for it are
gentleman.
actually on McCoy's character sheet.
Yeah, it's a 4L.
Yeah. So I have a kitten here who's deciding that chords are very, very much fun to play with. Stop it. Anyway, yeah, so he'll appear and he'll look down.
I can't judge your cat.
boy
I've been fidgeting with my
looking down.
headphone cord all night.
Come here. Air. See? Kitten.
Oh, do you have? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They're
it's a
just
little
really
kitten.
tiny.
Down
cord.
low.
Oh, it's a kitten. It's a little tiny thing, and it loves chords. Anyway, so yeah, and he's looking down at, because of course he's at the entrance, and it's like,
Yeah. Well, they've gone
Well,
off. Like McCoy
oh,
got
they-
them to leave. So
oh,
you
okay.
guys-
Oh,
Okay. I thought they were still there. All right.
Oh.
Well, perhaps we need to ascertain whether we can leave. Is that something you can make sure of?
Is there a
Radio? Yeah, it's like
is there a way for us to judge where we are in line for the people taking off?
You see that the airport officials are kind of going to planes and informing different planes when they're allowed to take off. You have no idea when they're going to get to you.
just get in line.
I'm gonna
Right
pass
on
the sawed off over to McCoy and be like, I thought you might have needed this. I guess not.
Guys, messing around with your stuff. These guys have no respect for other people's property. Isn't that just?
Did
You know-
they?
You might want as many fingerprints as you can get on.
yeah. yeah.
That's a
Do
good
they
point.
check
That's a
for
very good point.
fingerprints in the 1930s?
Oh yeah, fingerprinting
Yeah.
was beginning to be the FBI at that time was just starting to use fingerprinting.
But was
um,
China?
Oh, China?
No.
I have no idea.
Who knows? It's just a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
That
I think-
stole from The Simpsons. It's
I think at that point they were just starting to get decent black and white. Well, no.
White TV.
All right. So, what do we do? What do we do? I
Let's
must
leave.
apologize if this causes an undue burden to you, Mr. McCoy.
if you guys want to investigate as to when you're where in line you are to take off, you can do an investigation check.
Yeah, I would like to do that as
Okay,
a
go.
completely
go with
unrelated
you.
party to this random mob thug people.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll go with you.
Come on, we want to take on the.
Oh, I rolled
green-
max
the
on
green
that.
mag.
So as you make your investigation check, you discover, among other things, the airport
Jesus.
is almost entirely staffed by Westerners.
Yeah.
It's kind of co-owned by a bunch of American and British companies
Mhm.
doing business in China. But even though they're all Westerners, they inform you that your plane isn't allowed to take off. They inform you that the investigation check was really good, so I'm going to give you a huge exposition dump here.
Wonderful.
The guy in charge is named Pang Liao. He's also known as the Yellow Peril because he frequently wears yellow silks. He is basically the single-handedly controls most of the crime in Shanghai right now. You've heard him compared to Al Capone by a couple of these guys.
Yeah.
He controls, protection, the opium trade, hookers.
He's known as the Yellow what?
Peril.
The Yellow Peril.
Very bad. Very bad.
If you saw the mini for this guy, I had to do it. Like, Chinese villain dressed all in yellow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fu
It
Manchu
basically was
mustache, yeah.
the Fu Manchu clone.
Good job,
So-
Uncle
so-
Zheng. Way to go.
So we're not allowed to get in line.
Right.
And where do we go to rectify that?
They say that you'll have to work that out with him. And yes, for those of you that are wondering, this is the Yellow Peril.
The Yellow Peril.
He's so yellow. Is he balding? Oh no, that's just a hairband. Okay.
Right.
Zoom into 250%. You
Yellow.
can get a really good look.
Thanks, people. Leave you here for a few hours, and you just have to cause trouble, huh?
Sometimes the path to justice travels through many strange corners.
Okay, and who in charge here is in charge of, verifying that we can leave?
When we get notification from the local authorities, that is to say, Pang Liao's men, we'll clear your plane for takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, it looks like this, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
That's a good.
Minus the
but, like,
killer robot in the background.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a Buddha, but yeah.
Oh, it is?
That's a Buddha.
I thought it was like a Day the Earth Stood Still style killer robot.
Dude, that would be an awesome killer robot if like a Buddha killer robot.
So, I have a question
not
for
saying
you.
there won't be
sir-
a killer robot, but I'm saying,
Or is this one better?
Yeah, there we go.
yeah. Oh, I haven't
But all in
even
yellow.
uploaded.
So I have a question for you before we head out. Because we're in a rush. If the plane's grounded, can the passengers can we just get on one of the other planes? It isn't. Are there any charters available for rent?
I don't think Willie's going to be willing to leave his plane behind.
I know.
Yeah, I might get in a little bit of trouble.
I mean, there are all kinds of planes leaving, but do you guys have the operational funds to get yourself booked on one of them?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not.
right.
I'm more wondering if there are some, rather than using it. 'Cause I feel like we might need to create some deception.
Well, the miscreant is only interested in me and perhaps Mr. Paul. So perhaps
Well, I'm
we
willing
can.
to watch your guys' back if need be, and
It might be necessary to have what does the American say? Show of force. But at the same time, we do not want to show our hand too early.
What if we
I've
created?
watched many. I have listened to many of your radio shows. I understand the lingo.
What if we created a ruse and we made them think that you guys left on another plane, so they unrestrict us, and then we can all leave?
Well,
Or
I am hesitant to involve anyone else and have them be harmed because of our actions.
hmm,
I must apologize. This was an impulsive act that is unfortunately causing us much grief now.
It's like, what in the world did you guys do to cause so much trouble?
I simply chastised two young men because they were being very, very rude.
Yep.
That's pretty
I
much how
don't
he puts
think
it.
anybody.
Now, Mr. Paul there seemed intent on displaying his ironmongery. Perhaps that may have been part of the problem.
Well, it's either that or let them kill you, Uncle.
Oh, please. I am an old man. Death is no longer a concern.
Well, let's go out and talk to him, or else we just gotta just take off.
I believe that's maybe our best move, but it
I
would be
believe
good to
that-
have.
Sorry, go ahead.
I believe it would be good to have some contingency plans in case things do not go as we would like.
Well, I think taking off is good.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I'd like to be able to return here in the future. That's
Can
the only
I-
problem.
Can I obviously there's a runway and people are taking off. Is this like the dual runway where there's a runway for landing and a runway for taking off?
There's more than one runway. And because so many planes are grounded and they're kind of behind schedule on planes taking off, they're just kind of directing
Using
different
all of them.
planes.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like-
busy.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they can to get as many planes in the air without them crashing into each other.
Yeah.
I think maybe we need to find a way to get the restriction cleared, and we can just leave legally.
Allow me to correct my earlier transgression, my mistake. I can certainly fix my own mistakes. Mr. Paul, do you wish to accompany me?
Oh yeah, let's go out and settle this up.
Is the guy actually out there, or are they gonna usher him
Uh,
somewhere else?
You know that basically you are given an address on the
Mhm.
river.
Oh,
The Huangpu River runs through Shanghai. You are essentially given an address of a
warehouse?
basically it's a place on the river where his boat will take you to him.
He's got
Wait,
a
people-
boat.
First goes to the river, then the boat takes him to wherever the meeting actually is.
We shall gather at the river. Sorry.
I'm
Very well.
not sure I feel comfortable with you guys going off there by yourselves. I think I don't see a way around it, but you better take me with you. If anything else, I can maybe help talk your way out.
Perhaps you can acquire another boat and follow us. There's no need to announce your presence, Mr. Bridger. It is perhaps wise for us to have, backup, and have that not necessarily be known to this filth.
Yeah, maybe if we can get our own boat, maybe we can get like some firepower. I look over towards Tiffany. Do you see anything out there we can maybe even if it's not functional, something we can make that might be imposing? Oh, I think Becca's actually she stepped away.
Yeah, I think she had
Also,
a kiddo.
okay.
Yeah.
Come up.
too bad we didn't get that machine gun yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can.
Well, maybe we can buy one from Panlo, right?
Yeah,
So I think we need to either go in one group or we can try to do two groups with them being like the front and us all in
that would be
backup.
my suggestion. Have the two of us, Paul and I, go and go with them and have however many of you wish to accompany come in, covertly follow us.
Now, McCoy, I know you're our pilot, but I'd feel a lot safer if you were there with us with a shotgun.
Well, I know how to pilot a boat too. It's like I can pilot a boat. I can, like I said, if it has machinery, I can drive it or fly it or
Operate it.
or operate it. Yeah, get you where you want to go with them.
Well, there you go.
Well,
that's providence.
But if you're wanting us to go in a separate group, that might be, and if it's via boat, you might want me with the other team shadowing. Yeah.
That would be most advisable. Yes.
No, you can be one of the shadows.
So it'd be you, me, and Tiffany following these two, and hopefully those thugs don't hurt them before we can step in.
Your concern is appreciated, Mr. Bridger.
It'd be nice if we could just borrow someone's their plain 50 caliber machine gun or something and bring it with us for the afternoon. We can give it back.
I just have this image of Tiffany walking around, doing like Blaine from Predator with this big 50 cal. Taka, 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 taka.
Like that one.
As much as I would love to do that, As much as I would love to do that, I am 90% certain that I do not have the strength score to be able to do that.
If we could,
that's the whole point.
If there's just a way to acquire one, we could put it on the boat.
As jacked as the Rock in G.I. Joe, you are not going to be carrying the 50 cal. It's just a regular weapon.
I'd be amazed if we could even find a 50 cal. So,
quick aside, had that happen in a game, where what the guy did is he put it on a cart. So you had the image of somebody rolling a cart down the street, stopping, and then da 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 da, roll, da 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 da. So, anyway.
Also, I'm going to throw this out there because I don't know if you guys realize this. Remember, you guys do have contacts. You could reach out and see if Aegis has any operatives in this area.
That is true. They might supply us with some.
I mean, if we're going to go through Aegis, maybe we could just try to see if they can pay off this guy so we don't even have to do anything with him.
Or do whatever. Well, I think it's paying would not be the appropriate because unfortunately he has lost face. So he needs to regain it.
By removing yours.
It's a matter of negotiation. Perhaps there is a way for him to regain his face with minor damage. Or perhaps he can be persuaded to see how much more is he willing to invest in such an endeavor. Sure. Especially if it may become too costly.
Well, let's go into the airport and use their phone so we can make any contacts.
Yep, see if we can find any agents. Sorry, I just had a kitten pounce in the wrong place.
All right, so if you want to send a message to Aegis, like if you want to send a message to Aegis on the wire, what are you going to...
Oh. Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Sure.
Having trouble getting out of airport because of Gang Pao or whatever.
Yeah, we got to remember that name. Was it Pan Lo?
Pang Liao, yes.
Pan Liao. That was close. Pan Liao. Oh.
All right. So yeah, if you choose to send a message, you'd have to wait for a reply. You're not going to be making a phone call. This is going to be something a little less real time.
Be wired. It's like, yeah, it's going to take possibly a few days for them to respond. So
Well, I'm gonna put it on a boat.
No, it's probably going to be like a,
telegram.
organic telegram or something.
Yeah. Those no take days.
Oh, okay. I thought the idea was that we would try to find contacts in Shanghai.
That would also be an option, and that would require an investigation check.
Okay. And possibly streetwise, which I believe somebody has.
I have a little streetwise, but Tiffany seems to be
Yeah. If somebody
wild
wants
on
to
the
do
investigation.
or streetwise, if somebody else can give them a bonus, and if somebody has both skills, they could also give themselves an additional bonus.
I'll try that.
Yeah, I have a streetwise of 4, but
No.
which I guess
Well, I'm helping somebody's investigation.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Tiffany's the
decide amongst yourselves who has the best ability to make either an investigation or streetwise check.
That would be Tiffany.
Okay.
So,
Then she can make the roll and take a +2 bonus if somebody's helping her.
which would be Lance.
yeah.
And
She got a 4 even without.
I'll add an extra die onto that. I'll take the average on. Knowing what you guys know about Aegis, Tiffany is actually able to find someone. Basically, the investigation is a lot of asking around until somebody, tells you to stop doing that.
Yeah.
You get shown to an office near the port on the river. Picture like your Noir Private Eye's office.
Mm-hmm.
The sign on the doorway says, it announces this is an export company run by one Richard Shaw.
Okay.
Sure it is.
Because I can't stop a good pun. Yes, the Chinese bureau chief for Aegis is Rick Shaw.
Getting.
Wow, sir. Wow. Just wow.
Wandering around town, inquiring about Aegis is... I mean, granted, got the job done, but it's also a good way to get yourselves killed. I wouldn't recommend making a habit of that.
Hey,
Is there a better way then? No.
Well, if Aegis had sent you here, I assume that they would have given you my contact information, which leads me to believe that whatever your connection is with Aegis, you aren't supposed to be in Shanghai.
What?
It was one of the routes we had.
I mean, we're working on it.
There's been some chatter about the group of recruits they sent to Vladivostok. I'm assuming that's the lot of you.
Yeah.
That is us.
Well, I think we would have had a lot more information had the person who was supposed to give us information not got himself killed. But,
Boom!
He survived that.
He's surviving. Well, good. I'm glad
survived
you're
that.
failed
He's,
in his mission.
currently recuperating, but yeah, you guys have done pretty well for having to muddle through this. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about Peng Liao. He's the real power in Shanghai. Even
Really?
the
I would
almighty
I
dollar
would be,
would be enough to get him off your case.
I would be very surprised that an organization of such standing as Aegis would not have information about this man.
Oh, we have
Where
plenty.
he is. Yes,
We
so
just
perhaps
We just can't control him.
understood.
What do you want to know?
Well, we are supposed to meet him and be taken to him. Do you have information as to what this place is? Where does he? Where is his lair?
He has operational fronts all over the city.
Yes, but
The
where
whole
does
gimmick
he?
of having the boat take you there is so that none of his enemies know where they're going to meet, and so none of them can prepare an ambush.
I see. What is his usual? What is his
Modus operandi.
no? What is his operating size? How many does he usually have at his side?
From what I've seen so far, most of Shanghai.
Yeah, but he's not going to have all of them there.
He is the Shanghai version of Al Capone at his prime.
Right.
If there's something shady in Shanghai, he's got a hand in it.
Understood.
Sounds like someone
But
I should.
we
know.
are going to an audience with this man. Who would we see there?
Is there something he needs that we can negotiate to be able to give him in order to get out of here?
I already gave my watch up. I don't have anything else.
We believe his long-term goal is to get the West out of China.
Ah.
Until then, he'll do what he has to build up his power base.
So I look over at it's been so long I have to look at my notes to remember all of your guys' names.
Mm-hmm.
They're in
If,
roll 20
if
under
it'll
the
help,
names.
you can go
Lance.
over to the.
So Lance Paul being there wait, did you guys tell us the story of what happened?
More or less.
Okay.
You know.
So Lance Paul being there, intimidating, and as Uncle Zheng said, taking face. It's probably not good if he doesn't like Westerners. Or
Indeed.
Easterners. Do they call them Easterners here?
It's the 1930s. They probably used the term Orientals.
Okay.
Right. They're called Orientals, and the round-eyed devils are usually called Guaido.
Yeah. In a
So-
1930s pulp story, the term Orientals would probably get used.
Yeah, that tends to be the
I was actually once
Anyway,
an Asian coworker did call me an Occidental, and I wonder if that's a slur.
yeah, who knows?
The context was, you won't like this. Occidentals don't like this.
Ooh, damn. Yeah,
Two
it's sort of
Asian
like when
one offered
it's like,
me
like when people down in
one
Puerto
offered
Rico call you
some
gringo.
food that they were trying, and the other one's like, you won't like it. Occidentals don't like this stuff.
Yeah,
And it was way too
Yeah,
spicy,
sort of-
and I thought I was going to die. So he was right.
yeah. No, that's sort of like Puerto Rico. You know, we call you guys gringos. So
But it made a good story.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And who dies with the best
All right.
friends.
Oh.
So yeah. So obviously we're left back with the idea of having the other team follow us
Mhm.
in a separate boat. Can this Aegis guy provide us with a boat?
Yeah. Riverboat is pretty easy to hook you up with.
Okay.
Is it
We
motorized?
got a
or-
pilot for us.
Yeah.
Most of the river boats are not motorized.
Use a motor. Can you throw that in?
Well, you can throw a motor in. Yeah. Just like make that a request.
Okay.
Can we get one with a motor on it?
Yeah, he can hook you guys up with a small motorboat.
An
Probably one
outboard's
of those
better
with
than
the really
rowing.
long, stem. You know, you've seen those. You have the engine, and you have this really, really long shaft, and then the propellers at
Oh,
the
yeah.
end. You see them in the James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think
And if it's James Bond, it's canon, right?
well, actually, HCAT movies use them too. I think one of the Super Cop movies had them. So I'll take that. I'll take that as a more accurate presentation. Alrighty. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I'm offering. Is you guys follow us.
Okay.
Zheng seems confident that he can present himself.
I think we should all just get on the plane and take off when it's not as busy.
well,
Worked last time relatively
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he doesn't have he doesn't have airplanes fighters come flying after us. I mean, we can get
Okay, here's my thing. Okay, Mr. Shaw, Do you happen to have access to a machine-mounted turret gun?
A machine gun we can put in a turret.
Yeah, a vehicle-mounted turret
You're asking me to get you a machine gun?
Yeah.
bigger than a machine gun. Well, yes, a machine
No.
gun would work, I suppose.
Yeah,
What's
it's a
the weight
machine-
capacity? On the front nose of the plane.
I don't think we can put a can in there.
Well, no, that would be way too heavy.
I mean,
30 or 50 would be
And
fine.
the recoil would
I
just
could
be.
probably get you a machine gun, but
All
you gotta
right.
go walk it into a meeting with one of those.
No.
Just deliver it to the airplane.
Yes.
I'll reach out to my contacts and see what I can do.
Are we all out here? I'm sorry, I had missed a little bit.
Yeah.
I assume you guys are all
We are.
at
Yeah.
Mr. Shaw's office.
No reason not to.
Mr. McCoy, I think we're going to get some upgrades.
Yeah, I've always felt a little naked flying this.
What did you have mounted there before? I'm so curious.
Well,
Well, we start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me guess. You were with the Flying Tigers.
like this was probably a military cargo plane at one point that was
Got
retired from
decommissioned and then
military service.
recommissioned.
Right.
And when they put
All right.
start selling those things to just anyone, they tend to take the guns off.
Oh, so you
So it's
probably didn't know
9:30
what it was.
now, sir. Do you
Yep.
want to take this any further? Do you have a stopping point coming up?
I was going to say the stopping point is when you guys show up to the meeting.
Okay. Sound good.
Like if you guys are getting to the river in sometime in the near future, I was going to stop it once you guys got on the boat at the river.
Well, okay. Is there anything else you guys want to set up before we get to that point? Tiffany's got her machine gun. We've got a boat to follow.
Oh, she
So
got a
assuming that
machine
you guys
gun?
would.
I want a second gun then.
All right, second gun, like second handgun is easy enough to.
Okay.
Like Shaw probably has a few stored around his office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not hard to find.
Yeah,
So
get you a Makarov, just for appearance sake.
So I take it we're not going with the run and fly away, shoot anything that gets in the way.
I think, there's ways of disabling planes to.
We gotta go talk to this guy. Thing's gonna talk some sense into him.
Yeah,
Did we leave Mr.
Dimitrov.
Dimitrov on the plane?
He is not venturing.
Yeah. Can we leave a note or tell him not to let anyone mess with the plane? And if
And
they
not
do,
the
Yeah, like he can do
Bertel
anything about it.
device.
memorize what they actually messed with so I can fix it before we take
Yep.
off.
Shaw says that he'll have a couple of people keeping an eye on your plane for you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
don't worry about that.
That's very nice of him.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
It's not so much
So-
fixing it as much as knowing that I need to fix it.
Sure.
Like knowing I need to put bullets in the gun.
Yeah.
I would like to
Perfectly
express
capable of
concern
doing
in private to our party about leaving him alone with the device.
Well,
If it's a
he was
key,
along with
he
the
obviously-
device long before we came along.
If it's a key, he obviously needs to have the lock.
Well, I'm worried about him trying to get on another plane and make his own escape with the device.
Oh.
He's too much of a coward for that.
He
Yeah,
might
I
be
can
too much of a coward to stay.
He just goes.
Do you want to handcuff him to a chair, perhaps? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying I don't trust him.
I'm sure Mr. McCoy can appraise him of the wisdom of staying in the plane. You are, after all, a very persuasive person, I've noticed.
Yeah. Tell him those guards out there that they send are going to shoot him on sight if he steps out.
There you go. That'll work.
He doesn't need to know.
They'll need to know the truth. That's right. Besides, he comes from the Soviets. He probably would believe that because that's exactly what the Soviets would do.
Yeah.
So there it is.
We
All
have
right.
men, good men, working on
Yeah,
this.
yes, we have top men. Oh,
So-
yes.
Going down the river.
So that are we ready?
Yeah.
We prepared?
I believe
Have everything
so.
we need.
All right.
Let
So
us.
as you guys head to the river, you are greeted by the boat. You recognize a couple of the men.
Mm-hmm.
They take you aboard. It's a wooden like river barge.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going? Is it just the two guys who are?
Right, Paul and I are the only ones who are going.
All right, and the others are going to follow in the.
Yeah,
other
we'll
boat.
we'll get on the other boat and sort of get in that area before. Yeah.
Okay. As you guys get out into the middle of the river, and it really does go right to the middle of the river,
Mm-hmm.
and is moving. You guys are standing on the deck when the cabin opens, and a man in yellow silk steps out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a bow.
And that's where we're going to end. I'll show you guys
Okay.
what the boat you're on looks like, and then we'll break.
It's a Chinese junk. Yeah.
Oh, don't disparage it like that. It's a good boat.
So yeah, this is the boat you guys are on. You would be like
okay.
here,
Hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All righty.
and
So-
we'll pick up next week.
Yay.
Alrighty.
That was a good one.
Experience for
Yeah.
this week. A lot of good role playing, so you all get that point. You all get the participation point.
Uh-huh.
I will say that Don, Zheng, and Lance will get the danger point because they managed to talk themselves out of some actual danger. And Tiffany will get the knowledge point because I think she learned something today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Technically, all those notes that you guys were making for 1, 5,
3,
technically, you guys didn't see that.
I know.
Right. So you're saying 1 for participation, 1 for role
so
playing.
it's basically 3 for everyone
Okay.
except 2 for McCoy.
Okay. Got it. Okie dokie, Smokey.
Hey,
I will see everyone next week.
Alrighty. Thanks
Very
for starting
excited.
later. We can't really get here any faster than 4, so I appreciate bumping
That's
the time
fine.
back.
And we can even
Yes.
push it another half hour if we need to. I just
Yeah.
don't want to push it too much later.
Yeah.
we should
Right.
we
Same
should
here.
be
Same here.
home by 4:15.
Okay, so if we want to do it, say 6:30 Central, so I guess that's 4:30 for you guys, 7:30 for our East Coasters,
Mm-hmm.
and we can go until 8:30, 9. I'd be okay with that.
Okay. All righty.
All right.
Works.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. I'm enjoying
was-
this. Super
I was-
excited for you guys to start figuring out the codes and mysteries and stuff.
I was extremely sad when he came over because I was getting ready to chug my coffee and go an all-nighter, taking this thing apart. So I was extremely sad when he went and took it
Yeah.
from me.
Aww.
Like taking candy from a child.
I think
Fiend.
sometimes there is
Totally.
wisdom in removing candy from child.
Yes. It's not so much removing. It's not so much removing candy from a child as removing pistol from monkey.
More like a puzzle. It's more like a puzzle key than a pistol.
But on the plus side, it's not a bomb.
Yes,
Now.
it is not a bomb.
Just wait till
Not a
it's a time machine because it's a clock.
Again, I told you that it is a map.
It's a map.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
a map. It's a map.
It's a map.
Great. So
Control.
Tiffany turns into Dora the Explorer. Dora. Dora the Explorer. It's a map. It's a
Oh,
map.
Dora,
It's a map.
Dora the Explorer. Okay.
And I've actually told you guys everything you need to figure out how to read the map.
Well, thankfully, Tiffany is the one who's taking notes, so
It takes
she'll be the one figuring it out.
So the music box played 4 notes, you said?
4
Five.
notes that did not, 5 notes that did not go together.
Oh.
you know, that kind of thing.
So I'm looking at skills, and I've got 4 experience. I'm just gonna sit on them. So I think
Okay.
next game.
Well, you could get that gambling you were thinking about.
That's actually really tempting. Can I get like a first level in Streetwise and a first level in gambling?
That's 4 points there.
Yeah.
So
I would say if you want to buy Streetwise especially, it would make sense given all the stuff your character's been doing.
Yeah, probably not the gambling.
For me, I would do gambling because that happens. So going from a 0 untrained to a 1 is how much?
2 points.
2 points. So I'm going to do that. So I got 1 rank in it now, or 1 level rather, and then I'm going to drop my 4 experience to 2, and that's it for me.
Streetwise is a charisma skill.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to actually do that because I suck at it so much.
Hey, but at least you got the beginnings of it, you know?
Yeah.
And the best part is specializations only cost flat 3 points. So no matter how many levels you have, you know.
Now, typically when I GM campaigns, I am kind of stingy with letting people upgrade their primary attributes to avoid power creep.
Right.
There will be chances for you to do it, but
well, that's what I'm talking is use specializations.
Yeah.
Skill specialization.
I'm just letting her know that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Getting prettier doesn't typically happen.
Like again, it's not like Star Wars where you just can't do it. I just am very stingy with when I let people do it.
And it's a little bit more under lock and key.
Got it.
Well, it costs so much too to begin with, because like going from a 2 to 3 is 15 points. So,
and part of it is because I find if people are able to, you know, early on, like raise their lowest primary attribute, it leads to some power creep.
Yeah.
No, I mean
we have that in a D&D game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But, you know, Jeff does have the point of it, is that it is very expensive. So if you're having a game where you're handing out 3 experience points per session, it would take a while to get anybody to really pump their attributes up. And in the meantime, they're suffering because everybody else is going up normally. So,
oh, trust me, I was suffering before with my poor charisma score.
Yeah. Well,
you know, a few games ago.
I'm saving up for 15 so I can get another talent.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's sometimes fun to play with like that one bad ability because.
Oh yeah, especially if
yeah.
you tie it to a flaw, so you get the style point for doing that.
Like the character super smart but extremely socially awkward. That could be fun.
Done that.
The character who is like awesome at all of his physical attributes but is dumb as a brick is another one.
Those are fun. I like doing that one. Easy to play though.
One that I saw that was interesting. The guy was really strong, but basically had a glass jaw because he had no body score.
That's nice.
Like, yeah, he could punch anyone out, but
got taken out right off. Okay.
Himself.
As long as he didn't get hit, he just needed a really good. So
basically, it was Biff Tannen. Yeah, Biff Tannen.
Yeah, like he had a lot of other defensive abilities. And I have another campaign where one of the characters is playing a kid. He's got incredible dexterity, but like next to no body. So he's hard to hit, but if he ever does get hit, he's probably out of the fight.
Right. That's the way to do it.
So it's probably, somewhat similar to me.
Yeah, there you go.
But yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Continuing and you guys getting more exposure to some of the mysteries in the lore.
All right. Okay.
How many sessions do you think this is gonna go? Because I mean, we're currently in China. We still have Indonesia, Australia, Hawaii, USA, and then
it depends. Like this arc will wrap up when you get to America.
Okay.
I might not have anything planned out for every stop along the way, but I had some stuff planned for China from the group that never.
That's
happened,
right.
So
perfect.
The power of recycling.
So it's their fault. Thank you, Jeff. It's their fault.
Hey, Jeff, the bright side is you get to still play the content.
Like, honestly, the original plan was the Europe plan, and you guys were going to end up getting involved
the Germans.
I
Did
don't
you
like
just pull that
Germans.
out for out right on spot? It's like, hey, I've got this other stuff. There's 2 maps.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, I have this whole China arc planned.
That's
Might as well
awesome.
use it. Yeah.
Perfect,
It
'cause
makes
I-
more sense because that way
I've
we don't
done
have to
it.
fly over Soviet Russia again.
I really didn't want to fly
So
over
generally, my
Russia.
campaign,
Yeah.
each arc will be however many sessions until the story is told, and I usually do
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 arcs in a campaign. So depending on how things go.
I'm
My-
loving this. So
My brain right now, as far as what Tiffany would be thinking, is if a key looks like a clock, what would the lock look like?
Again,
It's not a lock. It's not a key. It's a map.
But it's a
Right.
key map. It's a map key. A map key.
Hey,
it's
I half expect to come back next week and one of you has already figured out the puzzle out of character. And it will
Tiffany is
start
going to be working on it the
going
entire
out of
time.
character with
Oh,
the
yeah.
answers and not knowing it in character.
well, I think that's it. So I'm gonna end the recording again. If everyone's fine with it, I will post this up in session 3.
I'm fine with it.
There's no video; it's just the Roll20 screen, and then that way
Question.
it's saved.
Question. When it went 1, 5, 3, 7, was that
Both hands.
Both hands in unison going to those numbers.
And did it go all the way full rotation to the 3?
It did.
Okay.
All right, off screen. Let's get to work. Solve this puzzle. We'll see you all next week.
Yep. See ya.
bye bye.